3.
All right, we're gonna do rolling. Somersaults and shoulder rolls. Yes, there is a difference. Somersaults go directly over the head and both shoulders. Shoulder rolls, pick one shoulder and isolate it from the rest. So the first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do it from the ground since it's safer. So I'm gonna bring myself to the floor. And the first one I'm gonna do a somersault, okay, or a forward roll. My hands will go to the ground with my fingers turned in, not my fingers straight. If I go to the ground here and then I mess up and I continue to rotate, my hands and my wrist will get injured. So if I go to the ground and my fingers are pinched in, then through here now, if I roll, I have more space for my arms to move. Now remember what I said, in a forward roll, we go over both shoulders. So from here, when my hands go down to the ground, okay, now I'm gonna move my body to be over my shoulders, and I'm gonna start to look to put my head between my own hands. When I do, I'm gonna elevate my hips up in the air, and then I'm gonna use my legs to push to go over the top. From there, we're gonna round our back. The goal is to roll, not to just simply collapse and land flat. So when I put my head down, now through here, as it goes down, my hips will start to hop up, and then I will make my roll over the top. And again, remember to round your back as you go. So hands are on the floor, fingers are turned in, and now through here, I'm gonna make my roll. Come up, look cool. And then from here, I can get in position. I can do it again. Okay? I like to come up into my one knee, combat-based style, ready for action, as opposed to just coming back to both of my feet. If we go backwards, it's the same thing. Now backwards, I don't really recommend doing backward somersaults as much because that is going to go directly up against your neck. If you're going to go backwards, I recommend doing a shoulder roll as opposed to a backwards somersault. So in a backwards roll, I'm going to sit to make it easier. When I roll, my feet are going to start to go over my head. My head is going to pick one shoulder, and my feet will go over the opposite side. That way, again, it takes strain off of my neck itself. We've seen too many of the kids start to do a backward somersault. One leg goes on one side, one leg goes on the other.
It's stuck.
Head gets stuck in the middle. So through here again, you put your head to one side. As I roll back, my feet go over the opposite shoulder. So as I roll back, super simple, super easy. If I go forward, I do it exactly the same, but in reverse. So through here, I'm going to put one hand on the ground. That's to make it easier for me to hold my balance. I'm going to take one hand and I'm going to act like I'm putting it on my knee. When I put it on my knee, I'm going to act like I'm pushing my knee out from underneath me. And my head wants to follow that knee, wants to follow that hand until my shoulder touches onto the ground. I'm literally trying to make my head and my shoulder go under my own hips. And then when I do that, I can make the roll and do the push over the top. So I put my hand on the floor. Again, this hand comes in like it's going to touch my shoulder, and hand goes down all the way to where that knee is. And then once it's here, we make the push over. Then through here, I can make my technical stand. If we're going to do them from standing, nothing changes other than we have to make sure that we're doing all those parts properly so that, again, as we're falling to the ground, you shouldn't hear loud thumps, thuds, slaps, or anything of that nature. Actually, if anything, you should be like a ninja and should be more silent than anything, okay? So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do a shoulder roll, okay? And again, through here, just like before, If this hand comes in like it's gonna push that leg out of the way, we drop down to that shoulder. My head really does not touch the mat at all. And then we roll back into our stance. So again, through here, I'm just going to exaggerate. So when I take my hand, I'm going to step forward, and then I'm going to pretend as if my hand is pushing my other leg out of the way, okay? So from here, as I make my fall, and then we ride the momentum down and up. Notice no big thuds, no big slapping on the ground, things of that nature, just smooth ninja-like motions. Nice and down, and up. If we're going backwards, just like in our break falls, wherever possible, I want to collapse my base first. So what I'm going to do through here, I'm just going to take a couple steps. 1, 2. On the third, I'm going to drop to my knee, tuck my foot so that I don't sit on my own leg and injure myself in the process. And then as my weight collapses, then I make my backward somersault. Again, 1, 2, 3, collapse, roll, and up. Power stance.